Hey guys, the X-Whatever here, and the person who was calling me was my Nana, and I'm pretty mad, so the video was actually recording, but she interrupted the call, and that one's 3 minutes, so I'm just gonna, yeah, anyway. As the vent fell to the ground after years of corrosion, but yeah. Deku hopped out of the vents, and he lands on a skeleton, but he knows the skeleton is holding something. A key card. Deku looked at the key card's clearance. It was a bit worn. The letters were a bit were scribbled, but he understood what it means. It was for storage of clothing or ranking uniforms. But Deku was actually after Deku was looking at the card, he was slowly interrupted by Kaiju Fang or Fang Kaiju, and Deku decided to run away as fast as he can. And Deku managed to lose him after going to a corner, and a piece of debris drove the Fang Kaiju away. Deku was just saying, "That was close." And Deku just noticed that he's actually right beside the door where the key card goes to. I'm like, huh? What about that? Whatever. He swipes the key card, and and the door just had just enough power to open it. As Deku goes into the room, he finds some cadet clothing, but he finds civilian clothing from a researcher. He guesses that he had to get changed quickly, otherwise he had to get changed quickly because he was a bit late. Deku was guessing, and yes, it's clothes that Deku is wearing in the picture you see. As Deku puts those clothing on, takes the worn out clothes off, he notices that there's something in the pants' pocket. So he pulls it out, and it's another key card, but it's a key card for where they store the Jaegers. Not Jaegers from when they put them all at the top. They store the failures and the scrap and the scraps, or the failures or the scraps of the prototypes. Deku looked at the map and he saw where it is, but he has to go down all the way to underground. After that, the map dies, and Deku's like, shit, it's dead. So Deku puts the tablet down onto the table where the clothes were. He walks out of the room, still and wearing new shoes as well. He walks. He begins walking down the hallway, but checking the corners, making sure that no Fang Kaiju are following him. As Deku I'm sorry, guys. As Deku begins to go down the hallway, he takes a left down to some stairs. As he's going down, one of the stairs or railings give, and the railing just falls all the way to the in the center of the stairs, going all the way down, making a lot of noise. It was like, shit. So he begins running all the way down as quickly as he can, but one of the stairwells is broken. So Deku jumped it, and he just said, he has something in his arm, glass, but he didn't care. He has to keep moving. As Deku kept running and running, he managed to get down to where they stored some failure for some failure Jaegers, or the place, the holding thing. I don't know what to call that. I'm stupid. Anyway, as Deku begins to swipe it as fast as he can, like open, open, open. The door manages to open, but just it's like a little sliver. It opens just enough for Deku to squeeze on in. But that's when one of the Fang Kaiju bite on Deku's hand. As the door was actually about to close, Deku kept hitting the Fang Kaiju until it let go, and Deku just manages to squeeze right on in before the door closes, and that's how he got the scars. As Deku's looking around, it's dark. However, he hits something, and a flashlight is down, and there's now bits of light in the room, but there's not much power. However, there's just enough power to show where some of the Jaegers are totally trashed and old. After Deku's going through the giant hallway, he finds a Jaeger. He finds a Jaeger that's not damaged and is functional. That is right, everybody. It's Obsidian Fury. Okay, I'll explain. Why is it there, you're gonna ask me? Well, they need to study it because it was fast and quick. Because, well, it had kaiju tissue, but after they decided to actually try to do experiments on it, they decided to repair it fully and remove the kaiju head. The kaiju's the kaiju brain from the head, and replace it with a pilot drifting session, the pilot thing. But there is only one problem. Each time they try to measure it, they always try to measure it or decrease it, or how should I say this? Lengthen it for two pilots. The head was actually pretty more advanced than they thought, and all they managed to do is install one pilot station. I'm gonna call it that. Just a pilot thing. As they kept saying that they needed a second pilot, they also installed an AI. They called it Fury, based on the kaiju's intelligence, but works with the Jaeger program. As Deku looks at the log on the guy that's been stuck down here for the past 4 years on the corpse, he hits the button. He hits some buttons and it says recently captured or information of when this was made. Deku looked at it and he didn't. Well, there's some information corrupted because Deku didn't know what this Jaeger is, but Deku just thought of it as his only way out. And yes, guys, Deku's gonna be the first person ever who actually who has ever solo piloted Obsidian Fury. Because I'm thinking Deku has that kind of strength, but each time he goes into it, it does hurt for a few minutes, but he gets used to it. All Deku could figure out from the lock was it's possible that people might have to solo drift with this Jaeger. Deku's like, I thought that would kill you, but there's been a lot of death logs, but it is possible. I think it is possible. Deku muttering, like mutter. And of course Deku's hungry. So Deku manages to find some food and water. But not much though, because some of it's pretty old. He found some bags of peanuts and some water that's just been, yeah, I don't want to know. As
Deku managed to get his strength back and wrap his hand up. He notices that the lift's kind of broken. So Deku decided to improvise. He did take the maintenance guide and make sure your Jaeger's all fixed and repaired in case you've lost a pilot.
So Deku decided to fix it by taking parts of other lifts from Jaegers, because all the Jaegers down there are already fallen down and just torn apart. As I was continuing, since someone also called me, interrupted me again, now I have to combine the footage on Cane Master, and you know how long that's gonna take me? Yeah, it's gonna take me so long, guys. But anyway, I'll get back to it. After some of the Jaegers are all fallen down and broken and stuff, Deku suddenly realized that I can't have a good recording session, can I? Next, I'm interrupted by my Nana, then Ethan, and then. Why do you have to guys interrupt my recording session usually? Because doing what ifs is fun, but when someone interrupts you, you can't think of the story, guys, can you? No. My goodness. Anyway, I'll get on to it. As Deku managed to fix the elevator, but he's been there for now just like 3 weeks, and yeah, now he has no food for. He used all his food in the next 3 weeks. He was rationing them. After he manages to get the lift working, he notices that there's not much battery in the lift or any power. So Deku looked in the abandoned Jaegers and failed projects to find a battery. He manages to find about like 18 of them, but 4 of them were totally damaged. So yeah, he has them in a room down there to make sure that no one can get them. But he takes 2 of them and he powers the elevator. He takes the rest of the batteries with him because he thinks that he might not be able to. He's not going to come back to his place in a while. After the elevator works, it stops at halfway, and Deku says, "Well, I guess I gotta make it work." So Deku slowly puts batteries at the top of the railing. As he's done doing that, he pulls himself up, and he sees the cockpit. He goes up the stairs, or the railing stairs, and goes into the thing. As he puts all the batteries in there, into a secured, strapped-in thing, he says, "Okay, this is going to be good." Not good, or more like freaking hard to do, because this might kill me, Deku's saying. As Deku is now saying, "Fierce AI online. Welcome, cadet. Wait, you've been expelled, haven't you?" Deku says, "Yes, I have, but I didn't get my say in it." Fierce says, "I do not care. Get out of my cockpit. You're expelled from the academy." Deku says, Can I at least give you the explanation why I failed my drift?" Fierce says, "Very well, but I bet it won't even do anything." Deku says that he wasn't the problem of the link. As soon as he was linked to his like partner or pilot or his a cadet's brain, he immediately did not want to share, and he kept blaming me until all of them just decided it was me. Fierce looks in the database and just says, "Huh, you're right." There must have been an error with their lockings, because it shows here that you were the problem. I see. Someone's messing around with the files, so you could get expelled. Cadet, you're now full. Welcome back, Cadet, to the Jaeger program. Fierce is saying, you are now acting pilot of Obsidian Fury. Deku says, what's the model on this model? Furious says, unknown. This was recently uncovered to be holding kaiju tissue. It made it fast and durable, quick as well. The weapons on here have been kind of stripped, but however, the blades have been put back, but they're pretty low. No, not blades. No, the blades have been removed. So yeah, the blades have been removed, but I do sense a prototype far east to the west. Deku's like, okay. So I gotta go get. So I have to go get him, or am I fighting without weapons? Fury says, "You're a fighter without weapons. I still detect some defense mechanisms here. However, I do detect a sword blade on one of the Jaegers. It's Gypsy Avenger's arm. It has a prototype arm for you, but the other one is severely damaged, so that's the only one that could be installed." Dick was like, alright, suit me up. Pilot, cadet, be warned. This may kill you in the process if you don't succeed. Dick says, is there any solo drifting that results in the person living? Yes. Major Anderson. Do you wish to link with him? Yes. As Deku goes through the same thing as the guy did, Deku's now has the memories of that guy. It's like, huh, just feels like I've been fighting for a few years. Fierce is like, that's what happens when you know drift with someone. Deku says, yeah, it's someone else's memories, not mine. Anyway, am I able to move this Jaeger or no? Fierce says, yes, you are. But however, I'm going to adjust it slightly to your mobility. And yes, Deku did a normal drift. He was like kind of screaming and kind of sweating, but he's kind of nailing it. His neural link with the Jaeger is at probably 70%. He's able to pilot 70% alone. As Deku breaks free from the things that were holding Obsidian Fury, Deku turns to his left and sees Gypsy Avenger's hand. Deku deploys it, and Obsidian Fury's blades in there. And Deku slowly disconnects it and puts it back into Obsidian Fury. And now Deku has just one blade, though. He only has one blade. As Deku looks to his left and right as the Jaeger, Deku hears a little distress beacon. Of not, well, no, not yet. Not of a Jaeger yet, but as Deku is making loud noise, contracting the Fang Kaiju directly towards him, Deku says to his place, it's been fun, but let's get out of here. Deku, pries the doors open, pushing them, breaking them. And all the Fang Kaiju are down there and looking at a Jaeger and Deku decides to smash them, stomping them boom, 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 squish, squish. And that was it. However, Deku had a feeling that people will probably come to this place and try to see if there's any Jaeger parts. So, Deku closed the doors. And plus, there were still weapons in there for Jaegers, but they were experimental, so, yeah. As Deku is now in the hallway of where they would store of where they outside of where they would store the Jaegers, Deku just looks up, says, "Furious," says, "Yes, pilot. Is there any um weak point to get to the surface?" "Yes, pilot." And Deku says, "And also, why am I feeling like my head's spinning? I was fine a few minutes ago." Furious says, "Pilot, you've managed to link with this Jaeger at 70%, so you're just suffering the effects of the other 30%. 30%? Really?" "Yes, pilot." And Deku's like, "Okay." As Deku punches through the concrete, getting up, he manages to get to the surface using the Jaeger's help or leverage. Deku is now outside. It's like, damn, this city's really gone to hell. Yeah, but anyway, guys, that's where we'll be ending the video off. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to y'all later. Subscribe for more content.